Hello, Canton Township. I'm your host, Thomas Payton, and I'd like to welcome you to the Canton Chamber Business Spotlight. Through our Business Spotlight, we are highlighting the best businesses and chamber members in our Canton area. And we're so happy to have with us today the owner of World Class Detroit, Matt Herron. Matt, thank you so much for being here with me today. How have you been?
Really good, really good. I'm so pleased to be here, and I thank you for inviting me to come talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to have you as one of our newest chamber members. But let's talk, obviously, a little bit about your business. That's why we're here today. So maybe before we get into World Class Detroit, tell us a little bit about yourself. You haven't always had this business. What did you do before that?
So I had a 23-year career in corporate communications. I worked for great companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield and Bosch. And so I was doing internal communications, strategic communications, media relations, things like that. And I just got to a point in my career where I wanted something different. I wanted a change, right? So I retired from Bosch. I took a couple months off, and those were great months, by the way. But and then I just started driving for a local service, and I'm like, I love this. I absolutely love doing this. So I said, I've got to figure out how I can do this going forward.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so from there, you gave birth to World Class Detroit. So let's talk a little bit about World Class.
Yeah.
Tell us about your services.
Yeah, World Class Detroit is chauffeured car service, and I cover the whole range of Michigan and into Ohio. Basically, it's trips to the airport, concerts, special events, weddings, proms, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, you name it. Basically, if you want to go somewhere in style, I'm going to be there to drive you. I drive a very nicely appointed, large, full-size SUV, tinted windows, leather seats, snacks, beverages, the whole 9 yards. So basically, you are going in style when I drive you.
Awesome. Yeah. And how many passengers does the vehicle hold, Matt?
Yeah. I can take 6 passengers with lots of luggage. I've had collapsible wheelchairs in there. I've had all kinds of things. So it's the biggest SUV you can have until you get to a Sprinter size kind of van. It's the biggest vehicle, and I can handle most groups.
Got you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if pretty much from whatever the occasion might be, you're the man to get them there. Absolutely. I love it. So when did you start the business?
Yeah, so I started World Class Detroit in November of 2022, full-time going forward with the new vehicle. And then I've just been really, I got to say, Thomas, I've been so happy with the support I've gotten from the Canton Chamber in terms of the networking and the resources and the staff being so supportive. So, it's been November 2022. It's been going really well, and, I'm happy and pleased to say that the service I'm providing is growing the business because I get referrals constantly, and it's growing at a nice pace.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Matt, we're so honored to have you as part of our organization. So we're happy to serve you, and anything that we can do to continue to help your business grow. Obviously, you know where to find us.
Thank you. You've been great.
So speaking of, obviously more about World Class Detroit. I always like to give our guests an opportunity to really kind of, I always say that there's stories behind the business. And you've told me some of your stories that are really world-class stories. There was one that we chatted about right before we went live here. You want to tell our audience about that?
Yeah, I said how much I love doing this work, and I've really found a new profession and really a new calling. And one of the reasons is because I get to serve people, and I get to know them, and I get to know their families and take care of them. So I have a regular client I'm taking in and out of the airport twice a month. And JP called me, and he didn't text me, he called me, which I knew something was up with that. And he called me and says, Matt, I need you. He says, I need you to take care of my dad. And I had known that JP had lost his mother a few weeks before. He apparently got called out of town, and now he couldn't pick up his dad from the airport to go to Bay City. And I didn't even check my calendar. I said, JP, tell me where and when, I'm there. It's that type of thing where a client comes to you and says, can you take care of my dad?
Sure.
The answer is always yes, and that's the main reason I love doing this work.
Yeah, I think that's such a phenomenal story, Matt. And I think that speaks to your character just as a person. I think that's absolutely amazing. I also think that it speaks to why your name of your business is the name of your business. It's world class. The services, the customer service that you offer is second to none within this industry. I'm just glad that you were able to share that story with the rest of our residents in the community. So Matt, how can folks that are tuning in, watching our segment here, how can they contact you to book?
Yeah. So I've got a website. It's www.worldclassdetroit.com. My phone number is 734-716-7878. I would really encourage people to look at my Google reviews. In just 9 months, I've got 37 5-star reviews, and you've got people, my clients, telling what their experience is with me. So I'd really encourage people to read those reviews. I also have a selection of those on my website as well. So it's really about, to me, it's that overall quality and that personalized attention. A lot of these big services, they can send you a nice car and they can send you a clean vehicle. But frankly, the quality of chauffeur that they send isn't always good. They're trying to fill dozens of cars. Sure. With me, you've got someone friendly, professional, reliable, every time, not just every other time or every third time. You've got a quality chauffeur. And when I can't do your run, I make sure that I get another top quality chauffeur to do it in my place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so with that, you're able to obviously build the rapport with your clients. Obviously, so much so that your clients call you and will leave their family members in your hand.
Yeah.
So that's great. And again, you come highly recommended from the chamber and from the community at large, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
I mean, I feel that privilege when someone not just books me again, but when they put their father, their cousin, their boss in my car.
Yeah.
You think about who your boss is. You want to make sure, when someone refers me and they're referring me to their boss, that says something about, and that makes me feel good. And that's part of why I love doing it too. I get to know not only the people, but I get to know their circle of people. And it's just fun. It just feels like a family. Yeah. I tell people sometimes that, if I haven't heard from a client in a while, I start to miss them. You know what I mean? I'm like, I wonder what they're going on. All right, I'll wait till they text me, but I'm kind of curious what's going on. It's like it's a friendship, it's a client relationship, but it's also a friendship, and that's just what I love about the work.
Yeah, and I always tell people that, when you get a chance to work, or I should say know the business owner, it really strengthens that rapport, that connection that you have. Yeah. You feel that you can always reach out to them. You know them on that human level, on that personal level.
Absolutely.
And you don't always get that.
Yeah.
But you do get that when you work through members of the chamber like yourself that are engaged in the organization and really doing outreach to the community and just keeping that world-class service, but still not forgetting to promote and offer just the human side of the business. And that's what you do for sure.
I love it so much. I know their dogs' names. Their dogs run up to me. They're not suspicious. Their kids know me. It's so much fun. And I love working in the community with the chamber and things like that. I've sponsored the SJ 5K, the Bird elementary outing, the Chad Tuff. So I've tried to get involved as much as I can, as much as I'm driving around town. Tammy Haggerty of Jacob Matthew Jewelers she's like my mentor in terms of community involvement. She's so involved, but she really is an example to me of trying to be as engaged with the community as possible.
Absolutely.
So shout out to Jacob Matthew Jewelers. Tammy is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Jacob Matthews gets a shout out. Absolutely. And one thing about I would say this community is that when they see businesses that are engaged, that are giving back and trying to support the community, our residents step up and return the favor. And so it's always reciprocated. Yeah. Our community loves to support our local businesses, and especially those that are involved in giving back in the way that you are.
I mentioned those other things, and those have kind of been like donated services and sponsorships and things. But the main thing that I do charitable work-wise is I drive for the Make-A-Wish Michigan.
Awesome.
And I donate a round trip every month for them, and then I discount rides. And because my service is so much more affordable than the others, when I give a discount to them, it really makes a difference. So they've kind of made me their main service for the eastern side of the state.
For sure.
And I just love it because it's a win-win. Like, they get the service, what I consider the best service they could get, but also I get that value and benefit of seeing these, these critically ill children and their families going on like beautiful wish trips, and they're so excited to go.
Yeah.
And like, I get hyped with the kids, and then I hear on the way back, the trip they had, whether it's
For
Disney
sure.
or Hawaii or wherever they went. So it's like, that's been a great partnership for me, and it just
Absolutely.
fits perfectly with what I did. When I started, I said, what can I do? What's my main thing? And that made perfect sense. These families are going back and forth to the airport. That's the one. So I was able to, and I feel privileged to get hooked in with Make-A-Wish Michigan.
Yeah, I'm so glad you told me that, man. I had no idea, so I learned something
Yeah.
about you today. That's a great benefit that you're in service that you're providing to that organization. Well, Matt, once again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being the business leader that you are in the community. And from the Canton Chamber of Commerce to World Class Detroit, we wish you much success. And we are going to be on this journey to continue to see your business grow.
Thank you. You guys have been amazing support, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Matt. Anytime. And we thank all of you for tuning in to this edition of our Canton Chamber Spotlight. If you would like more information about World Class Detroit or about the Canton Chamber in general, feel free to look us up on our website, cantonchamber.com. We thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
This program has been produced by Canton Community Productions.